Hello, and welcome to Dungeons and Dice Dragons. And welcome to episode 3 of our weekly podcast, Planeshift. For those of you who have been with us since week 1, welcome back. And for those of you who are new listeners, this is a Dungeons and Dragons based podcast where we'll be playing a weekly podcast with 3 of the cast members in the Feywild, a homebrew setting that I've created for this sort of group. Last time on Planeshift, our party managed to make it to the city of Everon, where they met some of the wood elves and were staying at the Mossy Marsh. When they went to the tavern, they noticed a whole bunch of adventurers and they started to have some drinks with them, as well as some performances in the open mic night. At the end of the night, they managed to make it back to their inn, where one of our companions managed to make it into the bed of the innkeeper, while the other 2 managed to make it back to their individual rooms. And that is where we will be starting episode 3 of Planeshift. This is why writing people...
I selected my own room. Let's go. Oh, yeah, I already paid for the room, so I'm good.
Yep. So...
Me too.
Paid in full.
So you each wake up at the Mossy Marsh, with Gore waking up in Violin's bed. He seems to have had a huge smile on his face as he had a good time the night before. Breakfast is already served in bed, so he doesn't seem like he'll be needing any more outside of that. So, Gore, what would you like to do now that you are awakened from your long night of little rest, but well-rested behavior?
I'm going to go to the companions' rooms and knock on the door and see if they're ready to start the day.
Yep, so grabbing all of your gear and putting on your clothing, you head out the door towards the closest room and give a slight knock as you are met with Citradora.
Hello?
Are you ready for the day? Go look around for some work, see what we can find out around here.
What time is it?
Morning, like 8 o'clock, I'm assuming.
It's early morning, so about 6 a.m.
6 a.m.? Okay.
Yeah, give me a second.
So Citradora starts getting ready for the day. Do you want to head over to Drozat's room?
Yeah, that's fine.
So heading over to Drozat's room, you sort of give a knock.
Hello?
Hey, you want to get your stuff ready? We can go look for some work and make some money and figure some stuff out around here.
Sure. Yep. Sure. Yep. Give me a minute.
Okay.
So while both of them are getting ready, you head downstairs towards the open area where the breakfast is being served. Clearly, you were already told you were served your breakfast, so you're free to kind of hang about, or if you want to pay for your meal, those are options.
I'll just kind of hang around because I already got breakfast in bed.
Yeah. All right, so a few moments pass, and then both of your friends sort of make their way downstairs. So your guys' breakfast is sort of a, continental breakfast?
Yeah.
Where, they have just a little bit of platters.
Grapes of Rome.
Yeah, just some grapes and little crepes and...
Oh, yes, the Greek yogurt. Greece where yogurt looks like water.
I hate you.
And the single egg dish at the bottom of the little stack of trays, it's like a quail egg at the bottom.
They have muffins.
This isn't a bakery, so this is complimentary breakfast.
What do they have?
They have the dish that they're offering you. It's just grapes, the sort of quiche or whatever, and then there's the single egg.
I will eat the egg.
All right. So yeah, you eat this single quail egg and you realize you were super hungry still.
Yeah. I guess I'll try the rest of it.
Yeah, you kind of just scarf it down. You kind of like, as you eat it, do a Constitution save for me.
Let's see what my con modifier is. A 7.
Okay, so with your 7, you manage to keep down your food, but you are definitely feeling wheezy after eating that meal.
Hell yeah.
Citradora, what about you?
Guess I'll eat it.
So you managed to eat the food just fine. It's cooked, so it's enough to make you feel full, but not enough to make you feel happily full. Especially on a weak stomach after last night. It's a long night. So yeah. So you guys are all downstairs, hanging out in the mossy marsh. What do you guys want to do?
Let's see here.
I want to get some direct sunlight somehow for this book, but as far as I'm aware, it is not our place in the city to try to get direct sunlight. But if I could, I would like to try.
You could certainly try.
I would love to try.
Yeah, I mean it's gonna be a hand grapple thing. The elevators only go up so high based off of your outer appearance.
Can I talk to one of the barkeeps? Can I go to one of the barkeeps and kind of ask him a few questions about the city?
So you're currently in the lodge. So the lodge itself has a bar, but the bar is currently closed given how early it is.
Okay.
And that's why they have like the
Can I
complimentary breakfast.
just talk to one of the workers?
So the only worker you see around you is Brutus, the one-eyed elf bodyguard who's kind of sitting out by the front gate. Mm-hmm. He's like keeping the riffraff away. Like,
Yeah.
if he sees any humans who can't seem to afford to stay, he makes sure that they leave promptly.
I want to ask him what the hierarchy of the city looks like. Who is on top?
Kind of looks at you, and he's like, "Are you friends with that mangy?" And he kind of looks over at Gore. He's like, "That mangy cow person?"
Acquaintances.
Hmm.
Out of necessity.
What kind of necessity?
If 3 people are slapped into the middle of the wilderness, I feel like it's understood that we need to rely on each other to get to a place of safety.
Do a persuasion check for me.
Huge, massive. Nat 1. Let's go.
Okay. Because of how you stated it, I'm going to give you a high or low.
Low.
Okay, so you don't nat 1 now. You just
Okay.
fail.
All right.
So he kind of just looks at you and is like, there's like a little spit bucket on the other side. He kind of spits into the bucket on the other side. That's his response to you.
Understood.
Clearly giving Gore a look for taking his lady friend for the night.
All right. Can I go to the crystal ball?
So yeah, the crystal ball is on the 3rd floor.
Okay.
So you would have to. Oh, I apologize. The 2nd floor.
Yep. I mean, they can do things, but that's where I'm heading.
Okay.
Towards the crystal ball.
So you are currently on ground floor. So you're going to have to head all the way towards the left, and then you'll get on one of the elevators. They'll pull you up, crank you up to the top, and then you'll be able to get onto the 2nd floor. The 2nd floor seems a little bit more busy, as this seems to be more of like the market street. It's not the actual physical like market square,
Yeah.
but it is the market street.
Yeah.
So along this sort of walkway, you notice the magic shop, an armory, the bank, animal shop, and the apothecary.
Okay. I would like to go into the magic shop.
Okay, so you head into the magic shop, which is called the Crystal Ball, where you are met with Kea Arabi. So as you enter the shop, you get like the faint smell of sort of like incense. You get like some incense smells, and some like you hear some hum as you kind of just see Kea. She has this sort of like almost like Madlock like braid on the back of her head, and she's kind of just sitting there chilling, polka dot sort of shirt, just has like a little bejeweled necklace, and she's kind of just sitting at the center getting her meditation in for the morning. You notice that her hair color seems to be different than some of the other elves, as it shows like a rainbow assortment of coloring, as her skin's also sort of this sort of almost sort of crystal colored. Can I help you?
Yes, I was wondering, I've recently come into contact with this book, and then I'll pull out the Book of Magnus. As far as someone's been able to tell me is that it needs to interact with direct sunlight, but other than that, I am lost on what it's supposed to do.
Oh, let me see it, please.
Hand it over.
She kind of grabs the book and she's like, She kind of pulls out a spectacle, like slides it over one of her eyes, and she starts like looking at it using the identify spell. She's like, interesting. Well, I can disenchant this for you if you'd like.
I would not. I'd like to figure out what it does before we destroy it.
The disenchantment would only take off the spell's effects that cause it to be unreadable in certain places, as the Black Forest. All content inside should stay normal. It's an enchantment level thing that you put on books and things.
Sure, how much would that run me?
This low level enchantment, probably 5 gold pieces.
But if I can just go to sunlight, could you do it for 3 gold pieces? It's really all I can afford to give.
She kind of looks at you. You notice that unlike a lot of the wood elves, again, it seems like she has more experience with mortals, just kind of like doesn't have the same sort of hatred, I guess, that the wood elves might. Do a persuasion check for me.
Not that one. Not that one. 17.
Yeah, so she kind of just like, 3 gold. Alright, tell you what. You do something for me and I'll do it for 3 gold.
Depends on the thing you want me to do for you. I mean...
I just need you to make a delivery for me. My delivery boy's out for today and...
Sure. Yeah, that's fine. 2 gold seems more than decent for a delivery.
It's within town. I just need you to go up to the, it's the Market Square, which is on the 4th floor. And I need you to go and meet with, with Prudence. It's a little halfling. Ordered something specially made.
Ah, yes, we've met before.
Ah, they are a very interesting fellow. They told me they are both male and female, depending on their mood.
Interesting.
Yep, so whichever one they're preferring in the moment, that's the one you should address them as.
All right. Prudence, I think, works. Or I feel like the safe bet is Prudence.
Yeah, that's a safe bet. So it's just that the character's gender fluid, so it creates.
That's fine, yeah.
All right. So for 3, she takes off the enchantment, and so with a sort of puff of light, the enchantment on this book dissipates, and the words of Magnus change, and they flip, and it's, instead of saying the diary of Magnus, it's the last will and testament of Magnus the Great.
I'll read this when we have downtime.
Okay. Is there anything else that I can help you with? We have an assortment of magical items.
What are you offering within the 20 gold range.
It's a little low. I will say that you might not be able to purchase any magical items at this moment, but if you, and she kind of like grabs this sort of bong off the shelf and just does a fat rip, and just like, and she's just like, you know, if you if you manage to find and then her voice starts to go back to that sort of mellow tone that you saw at the beginning, that magical items, then I would be very inclined to pay you full price for their worth.
Okay, well, I don't believe I have the cloak or the axe. I don't think I have anything. So, currently, I have nothing to offer, but we might see each other shortly.
Yeah, there's plenty of... She does another, like, fat rip. She's just like, there's plenty of jobs if you just work hard for them. Alrighty.
Because you're by yourself up there, right? You just went.
Yep.
Well, I mean, you guys are probably following or doing something else in the meantime.
I was actually going to say you just went off by yourself because you didn't give the impression that you were letting your party members know where you were going.
Yeah,
You literally just said bye and you dipped. So, yeah, I was going to leave it at that. So while you were doing that, you both could be doing something else. So, you just see Drozath just sort of dip in the middle of breakfast. Like, just eats his egg, sort of holds his stomach, and just walks out. So, Gore, what would you like to do?
So I think I'm gonna go check out those arena fighting pits. Go see if I can win me some monies.
Yeah, so that's gonna be on the 4th floor.
On the 4th floor?
Yep, same as Market Square.
Okay. So I'm gonna let Citradora know that that's where I'm gonna go. If you want to join, you're welcome to. If you want to go talk to more medicine people like you did at the Everon place.
We are at Everon.
Not Everon,
Oakenheart.
Oakenheart.
Yep.
More welcome to that. I just say we should meet up here around dinner time if possible. I think that'd be a good idea. If we're just going to go out and about for the day, because we still have enough money to pay for our room again.
It's 2 gold per night.
Yeah, but everyone still has enough money through everything else like that.
Yeah, you guys. I mean, I gave you guys pretty standard set.
Who knows? I could.
But
28
because
rolls right now.
I gave them a bunch.
Yeah, like I said, you guys should. My world is gonna be more expensive, but I compensate you guys for that, given that
Magical items. and
yeah,
stuff
just
like that.
things that you could do or utilize or sell in order to make ends meet if you really wanted to.
Yeah. So that's what I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna start making my way there, and I'm gonna stop and look at Brutus before I leave.
Yeah, so you try to pass Brutus, and he kind of just looks at you, and he kind of like, he doesn't shove you, but he doesn't really move out of the way as you try to pass him.
Mm-hmm.
Like, kind of gives you like a grunty look, like,
You hear those moans she was giving last night and screams? Wasn't saying Brutus, was she? She messed with the bull and she got the horn. You know what I'm saying? And I'm out.
He looks at you and he's like, have fun in the pits. You're gonna need it.
Why don't you come on down, pussy?
Oh, poor boy. You have fun.
Mm-hmm.
So, anyways, you are heading off to do that. Citradora, what were you looking to do?
I'm gonna head to Market Square, but like I'm gonna hang back seeing that little thing go down. I don't want any part in that. I don't want them to know that I associate with this person.
Yeah, so as Gore passes Brutus, you hang back, but Brutus knows you're with Gore, so Brutus kind of gives you the same sort of eyeing look that he gave Drozath, like,
I'm just gonna like put my hands up and I'm like, I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, he kind of just like looks at you and does similar to what he did to Drozath and kind of just like spits. But when he spits, you're moving past with your hands up, and a little bit of the spit gets on your sort of cloak.
gonna spit back.
Just breaks his neck.
Sure, do an attack roll with your spit.
3.
Add your proficiency modifier. You're proficient in spitting.
5.
You try to spit, but instead of getting like that good sort of nice like shot, you kind of get that little dribble. And it kind of like goes down your face, and you kind of just like have your tongue sticking out like. So yeah, you did the thing, but you didn't do it very well. So he kind of just laughs at you, and he's like, "Oh shit." All right, well, you know what? That was so sad. I'm just gonna let you go. Don't even don't even trip, dog. Just keep going. So yeah, you managed to make it out, and you're heading towards the 4th floor as well.
Yeah.
So heading towards the 4th floor, again, individually, you guys would have to ride. So you go up first, drops down, goes up, and you make it to the 4th floor. And as you get out, you notice the crowd is really popping right now. You kind of hear some cheering off in the background, like, fight, 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 fight. As you hear the sound of grown men grunting, as there seems to be some sort of brawl going on, in which you could only presume to be the pits.
Hell yeah. I'm gonna make my way over.
Yeah, so you bypass a lot of the market square. So the market square itself has a lot of sort of outsourced vendors. So these are a lot of the pop-up tents. So I don't know if you guys have ever been to Europe. It's sort of like an outdoor sort of pop-up tent or deal with these markets of vegetables and fruits and sort of other things that you wouldn't normally find out of the sort of hard sites on the 2nd floor. And so in the center of Market Square, there's 2 main things that you would notice. The first thing you notice is a giant wooden sort of bulletin board that's sitting there, and there's just kind of a dude who's kind of posted up, arms crossed, leaned up against it, kind of just like watching the bulletin board, and kind of listening to the fight in the background, kind of just nodding like to the beats of the beatdown. And then you notice just ahead, there seems to be some sort of physical drop down, as you can presume that to be the pit, which would seem to kind of drop down into almost like the 3rd floor, which if you were going up the flooring, you would notice that the 3rd floor is closed off. There is no entranceway to the 3rd floor. There's just a 3rd floor, which is the bottom of the pits.
Okay, that makes sense.
So that's the specialized area where fighters go into the 3rd floor and they fight their way through the pits. What would you like to do, Gore?
I'm gonna look around to see how I can enter in these fighting pits.
Do a perception check for me.
Yeah, that's a whole 5.
So it's even with a 5, it's not that hard. You kind of see people off in the distance sort of screaming like, "Who wants next? Who wants next?" And there's just a dude like taking bets on the next dude. Like you see like your typical sort of, dudes who are like keeping hands on the money.
Cool. Yeah, I'm down. Like, what do I get if I win?
So you walk up to it's a shady dude named Shady Rick.
Shady Rick.
You're shady.
So Shady Rick is kind of sitting there and he's kind of looking at you and he's just like, "What can I do you for, boy?"
I'm a gladiator. I'm here to do some fights, win some money, some glory. I'm down.
So Shady Rick, you notice, is sort of like a half elf. He has this sort of like crooked smile, sort of cut through his eyebrow, brown hair, and he kind of just looks at you and goes, "Huh, well, you might have the stuff, you might not. I've never seen you be here before."
Just got in.
Well, looking to fight. It's a 5 gold entry fee. Every round you pass, 10 gold. There's 5 total rounds. You make it to the 5th round, 500 gold.
It's pretty solid.
Yeah. I mean, probably won't make it, but you never know.
That. Never know.
I'm not going to
try.
tell you. You certainly can try.
All right.
So you pay your entrance fee, and you are escorted down to the 3rd floor. So for those of you at home, we're going to do what's called a roll-off. And so when you're doing a combat interaction like one of these types of mini games, essentially, the player is going to take 5 d20, and they're going to roll the number plus a proficiency modifier to each of the die. to try to outbeat me as the DM. Now the goal is if they pass the first round, their numbers will add up, and then as they progress, I will start adding proficiency modifiers for the enemies that they're fighting. So the idea is that the player has to out-roll me, essentially, in combat. So Cody's got his 5 dice, and I'm going to grab mine. So you're gonna roll and then add your proficiency modifier to your total. So per die. So you'll roll it. You'll proficiency modifier times 5.
You want me to roll 5 at once, or?
Yeah, just 5 at once.
5 at once?
Yep. Take it quick. And then you're just gonna give me your grand total to see if you make it through the first round.
So my proficiency bonus is 2, so you just want me to add 10 to whatever this is, make it easier.
Yep, that'll be the easiest way to do it.
Okay. Let me use a calculator.
Yep, that's
That sucks.
all right. I have my number locked in. I will show someone else so they can see it.
Cool. 81.
You beat me by 10.
Woo!
You advance to the next round. All right, round 2. All right, same thing. This time you'll use your proficiency modifier, and then I will be adding 1 to my score total.
Okay.
So the last round I'm adding 3 to each of mine. So just realize by like the end it'll get harder for you. So like in this moment, I'm gonna go ahead and add in some background ambiance music and like, you know, some nice boots and cats. 1 sec. Alrighty.
75.
Holy moly!
So you got it by a lot. I rolled real low for 3 out of 5. So you're in the all right. So you made it through the second round.
Yeah, I had a 20 and an 18.
Yep. So you're up to 20. You're up to 20 gold, and you can drop out if you want.
20 gold?
Well,
If he loses, does he lose all the
What?
gold?
No, wait. Sorry, you're at 2. So it's 200. So you're at every round you go up, you can make the money. Now, if you lose half the money.
Half the money. Okay. I'm at
Wait.
200 though.
Yep.
200 gold? Sheesh.
Yep. That's the point is that he'd be fighting his way through a bunch of people. We're just not gonna simulate that because
It take all the entire.
it would take all day, and if you guys were gonna enter, I would make it for real. But given that it's only 1 player, all right.
Josh is like, I'm gonna enter now. Alright.
Alrighty. So it's up to +2 for me. Alrighty. I have my number. Alright, you made it through.
Barely.
75, right?
Yep.
65 plus 10?
Yep.
Jesus.
Alright, so now it's up to +3.
So I'm
Jeez.
at
The fourth
300
round.
300 gold right now.
Yep, so 4th round. Do you wanna cut it? You wanna cut here? You get to keep if you cut.
Yeah, I'll keep.
You'll keep?
I'll keep.
Alright. You got 300 you got 300 extra gold. And
What if, what's his name was in the 4th round?
Oh, Brutus.
Yeah, what if Brutus was in the 4th
Oh,
round?
I killed him for free.
Yeah.
alright, so you're also gonna take a total of 9 damage total.
9 damage.
Yep.
Okay.
Oof.
So each round would have been is 1d6
Okay.
of damage.
Whoa, wait, so he could have just died. Or would you have
He would if he got a 0, I'd have him get knocked out.
So minus 9 is.
He also remember you take half.
What do you mean?
You would have been raging. You would have been raging.
Yeah, yeah.
So you take half.
He very calmly
So
is
9
just
go to
murdering
4
everyone in the
or
pits.
5.
It's rounded up. So.
Okay, so I only take 5 then. So
Yep.
I go to-
Oh, so I didn't mention this earlier in the podcast. I'm going to mention it now. So when we're in combat interactions, one of the things I really want to start implementing in our campaign, and I'm just, something that the listeners can also maybe think about, is the importance of bonus actions. So I think that bonus actions and reactions should be able to be casted anytime, not just on your assigned turn. So, for example, raging, at the top of the round, regardless of what turn order you're in, you can rage at the top of the round as utilizing your bonus action. You can utilize your bonus action at
Did you
any.
like respond to a swing?
Yes,
Is our rolls put on the stack?
but remember though, the same is true for your enemies.
Mm-hmm.
So anything I give you that's extra can also be utilized by your enemies.
Yeah.
Like flanking is a thing that, if you're in combat, you can think about. So,
Don't get flanked.
So I now have an additional 300 gold.
yep.
Jeez. How do I make that much? I might as well, like, even with, like, terrible strength rolls or proficiency rolls. That just seems like a good way to make money.
It's a solid way to make money. There's other ways. So, I'm gonna...
Okay, yeah, but just so for my character, after I'm done with all that, I would want to go to where, like, the armory shop, like the shopping square, because I got a bunch of money. I'm ready to go hit the streets and spend some.
Yeah,
spend
so
some middles.
this is going to be some hours.
Yeah.
You're looking at probably, since you went 3 rounds, close to 4 or 5 hours. So we're going to let the other players get some interaction.
I'm just saying, like, when we go back to me, that's...
Yeah, that works.
So,
all right.
cool.
So next up is Drozath. So Drozath, you are in the middle of this magic shop. You were asked to deliver an item. So you have this item now to deliver.
I'll ask what the item is.
It's just in a box.
What's in the box?
Sure. Yeah, I'll just make my way to the 4th floor.
Cool. So you make your way there, and you do a perception check for me.
Dirty 20.
So looking around, it seems difficult to find them, but you do manage to find Prudence. Prudence still has this sort of makeshift beard that they've sort of labbed together. It's a little more scruffy than it was the day before, just given that they had a rough night of drinking and partying. But Prudence sees you and is just like, well, if it ain't my friend, how's it going over there?
Good, I have a package to deliver.
Oh, are you my Amazon delivery boy?
Sure.
Because you're in the Amazon trees.
Everon delivery boy.
The Everon delivery boy, yes.
Oh my gosh.
Your Everon delivery boy.
I'm just gonna hand it to him.
So,
Wait, you're not going to deliver a pizza with extra sausage or something?
No, I won't.
so
Not really my
Prudence
style.
takes the box, opens it up, and you see Prudence slide on some really nice looking boots. They seem to have sort of magic towards them.
Gucci flip flops. Just see the put 'em on.
Do these boots get the fur?
No, they don't have the fur, but they do have the swag. Like, these are really nice boots. Like, even without doing an Arcana check, you can tell they're magical. Kind of like kicks them together. They're like little cowboy kicker boots.
Shit
Could
kickers.
be boots of paste.
And they kind of match the rest of their aesthetic because Prudence has like this sort of cowboy attire.
True.
Mama, take mama.
Alright, Prudence. Prudence, you heard of any jobs nearby?
If you're looking for jobs, and they kind of point at the bulletin board, this huge wooden board of jobs.
I want to ask, like, any specifically good ones, though.
Oh, there's some good ones. I mean, they're a little low for us, but for a little pipsqueak like you, shit.
Let's go.
Mind you, they're saying that because they're small, and they called you a pipsqueak, and
Yeah,
you're
that's
like,
fine.
they're like pointing you in the shin, saying little
Let's go,
pipsqueak.
pipsqueak. Yeah. I'll take it, you know. That's fine. I'm not too offended.
Yep. All right, so you're gonna head toward the bulletin board.
Yeah, sure.
So you head over to the bulletin board, and you see someone kind of just like perched up, and he kind of like looks over at you, and he's just like, "Can I help you?"
Just looking for any jobs that someone like myself can do to make a little coin around here.
So the first thing you notice is that
It's gone forever.
Blight's hair is sort of an orange color, like it's been like bleached almost.
Yeah.
They have like 3 earrings on one side, very much like typical tough guy sort of attire, like, and then just sort of like some wrist gauntlets, sort of a sword on their side, and then sort of like this goatee.
Yeah.
And he's just like, oh, I mean, depends on what kind of jobs you're looking for.
Best coin to time ratio.
Well, I have a few jobs. Looking for a few. So right now, I have four jobs.
Yep.
Different wages. If you're looking for money, a monster is spotted at the western gate. Make you about 500 gold pieces.
Ooh.
If you slay it, get rid of it, whatever you would do. As long as it disappears, I don't care.
Alright. I'm gonna look around for Citra Dora. See if I can.
There's a few more jobs if you want to know about those.
Sure. Yeah, I'll keep listening.
So, the second mission is you can find a missing girl. Her name is Alana Guntar, and she went missing. She works for the apothecary. So, she went missing at the eastern gate where you guys had come from, on the ground floor. The third mission that he has available is that you can bring a letter to an elf on the coast near the town of Port Village. So mission 2 is about 300 gold pieces and 200 gold pieces for the letter. And then there's also a lot of small jobs. It's basically just like delivery bus jobs. You can make 50 gold pieces delivering unknown boxes to people, similar to like what you were just doing. Like there's a daily hire.
That rate was so bad in hindsight.
Yeah, but the thing is it's for the full day, so you would be utilizing the entire day
to get 50 gold.
To get 50 gold pieces.
Um,
and that's one place. I mean, you could probably bargain it up to 100.
I'd like to go find Citra.
Okay.
At this point.
So Citradora, you are currently you had just gone up to the 4th floor.
Yeah.
What would you like to do?
I'm gonna take a look around. Just gonna go to the job board.
Yep. So you easily find the job board. So, mind you, this will be before you get there, Drozath. Just you had the delivery. So, getting over to the job board, you get over there. You might meet Blight Caravan.
Blight Caravan.
Yep. And Blight kind of looks at you and is just like, well, aren't you a big woman? Hello.
Not a woman.
Ah. He kind of squints his eyes. Ah. I see. Oh, I mean, you are a weird race, I guess, but...
Who's calling who weird? You got orange hair.
I kind of like my hair. He kind of, like, gets self-conscious about his hair.
Where did that southern accent come from?
Oh, the Irish accent? Yeah.
Oh, no.
He's like, I kind of like my hair. And he kind of, like, floofs up his hair a little bit. Yeah.
How tall is this person?
They're probably only about, like, 5'6".
I'm just gonna reach down and, like, ruffle their hair.
So you, like, scruff up his hair, and he kind of looks up at you, and he's like, touche. Can I help you? What do you...
Just looking for jobs, new in town.
So, you hear the same job list that I just told to Drozath. So, job 1, a monster is spotted at the western gate. Job 2, you can find the missing girl at the eastern gate. Job 3, bring a message to an elf on the coast near Port Village. And then there's a variety of other smaller jobs, which are like delivering X or Y to people. And you can serve as like a delivery driver for the day. There's a 50 gold one, which is a delivery. It's mostly just like hand picking items from the store and bringing it up to people within town. And then there's a larger one for about 150 that's heading outside of town. You would actually head south towards Oakenheart.
What kind of monster?
Well, Blight kind of like looks at you, kind of insulted that you ruffled his hair, then asked him a question, but he doesn't want to, come off as too upset. So he's like, well, there seems to be some sort of ogre.
An odor.
An ogre.
Ogre.
Yes, there seems to be an ogre. Yes, an odor. There's clearly a stench about the world.
It smells bad.
There's a big stink.
Are you sure it's not a skunk?
They got the big shit over there in the western gate. No, so a stray.
It's gone.
500 gold, please.
A stray ogre was spotted. And needs to be dealt with. It somehow managed to make itself into the Black Forest and made its way from the plains. And having one ogre is a problem. Having more than one ogre becomes devastating to the environment. especially the Black Forest. So they're trying to get rid of it while it's still only a problem.
Does it have a donkey with it?
And
Perhaps a
then,
donkey that specifically likes waffles.
I mean, this would have to be a really big donkey.
Is he in a swamp?
I mean, he doesn't have to be riding the donkey.
Touche.
Does the donkey speak? And have a certain affinity for dragons.
So the donkey is the donkey is secretly the love-struck bard of this campaign, guys.
Donkey, yeah.
It's the horny bard.
I'm just saying, we're gonna set Drozath up with the donkey because he's dragon donkey.
Disagree.
I mean, I'm not
Turns
gonna
out don't
tell
swing
you.
like that.
I'm not gonna tell you what love is, but I am gonna tell you that is a little weird, a little bit of bestiality on my part.
I don't know.
There isn't, unless they're like a donkey humanoid race. I'm probably gonna judge you.
I'm just saying.
He suggested. He's a minotaur. How do you think that happened?
Yeah, I'm nailing L's, man. I cross all kinds of boundaries.
gross.
Yeah. So you managed to.
How do you think any humanoid races happen? Like, someone's got to cross that border.
Yeah. All right.
I'm
So.
sorry.
Back on track now.
Back on track.
All right. So, what would you like? So as you do that, would you like to do anything else? Would you like to hang out here?
I was gonna ask if what Blight could tell me about the missing girl.
So Blight just says that her name is Alona Gontar. She has short brown hair, green eyes, fair skin, wears a rose-colored lapel on her shirt to symbolize her attachment to the apothecary. She was picking plants for her family's apothecary and is yet to return.
What does she look like again?
Short brown hair, green eyes, fair skin. She is a wood elf. So she looks very much like the rest of the wood elves that live here.
How long has she been missing?
Since this morning.
What time is it?
Probably about midday.
It took me that long to go up.
You ate breakfast?
Got up at 6 in.
Yeah.
It did not take that long to eat breakfast.
Fair. So I'll say that it's probably closer to like 10 a.m. So we'll say that she's been missing since yesterday to make it easier for you then.
Okay.
Because I didn't think about the time frames when I was writing this, so.
Well, my thing took like 5 hours.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Yeah,
You're probably thinking
gone.
of that.
yeah, that's
The
what.
thing is, like, I want to fight the ogre, but also I don't want to just be like the only one, walk in, get killed. You know, because that's like a very likely.
Because they're all up on the 4th floor, right?
Yeah, so they're on the 4th floor, so you have no idea.
But they should be hearing people chanting my name by this point, man. Just
Yeah, I mean,
wrecking booty holes down there, man.
it depends on how persuasive or like perceptive they are.
Mm-hmm.
But again, that's also character. Like if their character is not concerned with your character,
Yeah.
Bull guy.
yeah.
Bull. Yay.
So yeah, you so was there anything else you wanted to do, Citradora?
I think I'm gonna start working on the missing girl case.
Okay.
Because,
So you're gonna take.
I'm alone. I might be 7.5 feet tall, but
Yes, so you are gonna grab the second mission off of the list, and so
How much gold was that?
300 gold pieces.
So would I even see that at that point?
So when you go up to see it, you would not see that one. It would be taken. But I mean, yeah, because so then you would only have the first mission, the third mission, and then the smaller missions. All right.
Everon. Delivery packaging.
Yeah. Welcome to Everon Packaging. You're the delivery boy.
Everyone's fine.
What
It's like just
the owner of
straight up.
the owner of the delivery service is High Elf Bezos.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. Jim Bezos.
Jesus. All right. So, yep. You pick up that, and where would you like to go from there?
I'm gonna try to find the apothecary.
Apothecary's not on this floor, so you'd have to go back down.
Okay.
So you head back down to the apothecary. At this point, Drozath, you managed to make it to the board, where you were given mission 1, 3, and 4.
I'm gonna take mission 1.
Yep. So you grab mission 1, and he just looks at you and he's like, kind of smiles to himself a little bit. He's like, have some fun, I guess.
Oh boy, I will.
You might want to bring people with you.
That was the plan.
Because he kind of like laughs to himself and he's just like, but I'm not going.
Yeah.
And he says if you come back with proof, he'll pay you for both of you guys would know this. When you guys take missions, just bring back proof that you accomplished the mission. For you,
finds missing girl, cuts off hand.
no, he wants heads. Like
Here she is.
But yes, so some
the girl there.
So some sort of proof that you accomplished the task. However creative you want to do that, but you need to have proof, and then he'll pay you.
Yeah, sounds good.
For the city.
Makes sense.
All right. So yeah. So heading towards the apothecary, because we're just gonna do this like thematically since you walked up to him next. We'll say that you got to the apothecary. You make it to the apothecary, where you manage to meet a very frightened, sort of middle-aged woman. Her name is Gladys Guntar, and she runs the herbal remedies. Yes, the name is Herbal Remedies. Yes, leave it alone.
No, the Guntar. I'm thinking of Gunther from Friends running the coffee shop.
Oh. No, I kind of just looked up elf names. And it was just like a common elf last name. And I was like, all right, here we go.
No, it works. I was just sitting there because she's going to like Herbal Remedies, which is like the central perk ran by Gunther, ran by Guntar.
Yep. So
You're cool, man. Like I connect stupid stuff like this in my head all the time. That's what I'm giggling about.
That's fair. I would be, but I have to like pay attention because I'm the DM.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like.
So Gladys sees you walk in and she's like, you kind of like see these sort of tear stains on her face, and she's just like, "Can I help you?"
Yes, I saw your job posting. Daughter Alona's missing?
Yeah, yes, that she is, but I didn't post a job posting. My husband might have, but he's been gone since this morning looking for her.
Okay, it says, you said she was, the east gate, correct?
Yes, she went towards the east gate. She was picking up some herbs for our family store, and she's like holding back tears as she's like saying this, like, and she went right before dusk last night and hasn't returned, and I'm really worried because she's never been away from home this long, and I just don't know what to do.
Be like, well, I'm gonna go look for her. Can you tell me what herbs you sent her out for?
Yeah, she kind of just said like a few spell components. So she just like some thistle and some lilac and some bay leaves. I don't know. I'm just trying to think of random spices at this point.
Oregano.
Yeah, she went out there.
Cilantro.
She's, making some fried chicken later.
Yeah.
I was gonna see if I like remembered
turkey.
seeing these things like while I was looking.
Yeah, do a nature check for me to see if you remember these things.
23.
So you do remember the group of thistle that you guys would have passed on your way towards.
On the way in.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll go ahead and take a break here because it is at 56. All right, everyone, and welcome back from the break. So coming back, so each of the party members has kind of done some things. We're gonna go off with Drogath, who is heading. Drozath, who's heading towards the magic shop.
Yep. I was actually at the bulletin board.
Oh, you were at the bulletin board. Yep. So you're at the bulletin board right now, currently.
I would like to look around for Brutus.
For Brutus?
Yeah, so I'd like to go back down to the end.
Okay, so you head back down towards the end. All right, I'm going to have that be your turn. Citradora, what would you like to do?
I am going to head out to the east gate.
You're going to head out of the east gate?
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty. So heading out towards the east gate, you head down. Who has the pass?
I did, last I checked.
So as you're heading out, they stop you and tell you that you need to pay the 25 gold pieces to exit. And then it's a 25 gold piece re-entry fee.
Bullshit is what that is. I guess I'm not leaving.
That's just how it... I told you it gets you in, but it doesn't get you out. Welcome to Everon.
Yep. That's how they get us.
Yeah, that's how they get mortals in. That's why you do their bidding for really cheap.
Well, I guess I'll head back to the inn.
Okay. Right, so you head back towards the inn. You currently see Drogath sitting there. Drozath. Mm. So Drozath is currently having a conversation with Brutus.
I would just in conversation I'd like to say how much do you value gold?
Kind of looks at you. I mean, he kind of like points at the job he's doing. He's like, I'm not here for free.
So there's a little bit of an issue going on the west gate. There's an ogre that has decided to stop by and started wreaking havoc.
Mm-hmm.
I saw it
on the bulletin board. Seems
the
like
board seems to pay pretty handsomely.
Yeah, 500 gold pieces is handsome.
That's handsome to me. I don't know how much you're getting paid.
Yeah, that's chump change.
Chump change? Well,
that's like one day's worth of work here.
It's a fair. That's how do I get your job?
He kind of looks at you and eyes his sword like, you trying to take my job? Your man already took my girl.
Not specifically your job. I'm saying, how do I get in your situation?
He kind of looks at you and kind of leans in and he's like, be born a different race.
Unlucky. I'll walk away.
So, Citradora, you do see Drozath as he... I'm just going to do that. I'm just going to make sure I emphasize it now. Mm-hmm. Drozath, as he is walking back towards a table, would you like to address him?
Yeah. Drozath, what are you doing?
So, there's this ogre, right? On the west gate?
Yes, I did see that job.
Yeah, I don't think I can take it alone. I mean, I could try and probably die for it, but I'm wondering where I can get some assistance. Do you have any ideas, or would you be willing to help me fight it and do a 50-50 split?
I'd be willing. Let's do that.
All right. Should probably. Is it worth waiting for Gore? Both of our cuts would be smaller.
I'm not sure. Gore headed to the pits today. I haven't seen him since we parted ways at the elevator.
Both of you guys do a history check for me.
Big history. Let's go.
12.
Ooh. 5.
Okay, so you guys really don't have any experience with ogres.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't seem to be your strong suits. So, yeah, you really don't know anything other than that they're big, they're kind of dumb, and they're pretty hard to kill.
Alright, I'm gonna go back to Brutus and talk to him.
Sure.
So, Brutus, I get you don't like me, that's fine. But, help a brother out. Are there any glaring weaknesses that ogres sort of have?
Kind of thinks for a moment. Do another persuasion check for me. See if he's willing to give you any info.
10.
So, he kind of... Actually, that's pretty close. High or low?
Low.
Yeah, for sure. All right, you got it. So, he kind of he's like, well... They have no armor. That's really common knowledge for ogres. Mm-hmm. Low armor, high stamina. So they're only really hard to kill because of that variable.
They just take so many hits.
They can take a lot of hits. That's really the selling point for these big creatures. If one's off on its lonesome, they're not very smart. They could probably be led away without using violence. But if you're going to use violence, make sure you kill it before it crushes you.
Can I reread the wording of the contract?
Of
the bulletin board thing? Didn't I take it?
Yep. Yeah, so...
Does it say I need to kill it? Or does it just need to get
what
away?
It says was a monster was spotted at the western gate. The party, so you must bring back proof of its demise or that it has gone away. Now, however you get the proof that it is gone and no longer a problem to the western gate or to the elvish village of Everon, that is up to your decision.
Okay. So, are there... I assume that...
So,
it is not common.
as you kind of have been talking with him, he kind of seems to calm down a little bit. And Brutus is like, all right, look. And he kind of looks over. And he looks over at Violet and he's like, look, if I manage to come with you, all I'm asking for is that you talk about how helpful I was to Violet for me. And we don't bring your dumb friend.
Easy.
I don't care about the money. I make a lot of money here.
Yeah.
I just want to get back in her good graces. Clearly, a story is one way to do that.
For sure. We got you.
All right. He's like, if you wait till the end of my shift, he's like, I got about 5 more hours left. I'll come with you.
Okay. Citradora, did you take a job from the bulletin?
So it is currently, it's probably only been about, we'll say it's about noon now.
It's about noon.
Because you were doing some investigating, you guys have done some things. I'll say it's about noon now. So Cody still has about 3 more hours till he's done fighting.
Okay.
I took that missing girl case, but they want me to pay 25 gold to leave the village to even go, or the city.
Citrador, how far are you away from Drozath? Are you right next to him?
Well, I asked her a question, or them a question.
Yeah, yeah. So you asked them a question. So how far are you guys in distance? I'm just trying to curious because remember that Brutus is by the door. So.
Yeah.
I was assuming that Drozath walked back.
Did you walk back to the table?
Yeah, I walked back to the table.
Okay.
Yeah, did you take anything, or...
I took the missing girl case, but they want us to pay 25 gold to get out of the city.
I still have the note from the King of Oakenheart, or the leader of Oakenheart.
But I think that was just to get us in.
Well, we might be able to change some verbiage and use it to get us out.
So you kind of think there's no real date on it. So it could definitely get you back in.
Uh-huh.
But you don't know about getting you out.
Okay.
What is the word? Like, what is the actual, like...
Adventurers on my behalf are invited to come to Everon in search of work.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair. That doesn't get us back in.
So that
it doesn't get us out.
Yeah, so that's why whenever he gave you guys the thing, he said it can get you in, but it won't get you out.
Yeah.
So that's really the reference point. So, as you guys are kind of talking, Violin kind of looks and she's like, "Oh, you can always use the elf entrance or exit." Sorry.
Where would that be?
Oh, if you go to the local store and you buy some of those grappling guns, you might be able to propel your way down without having to go through the elevator shafts.
Smart. How legal is that?
I mean, everyone who's an elf owns one. It's how we travel without paying the fee. The fee is only for the elevator, and only foreigners aren't willing to pay for these items.
So
How much
we're
do they
good.
cost?
Yeah, so we will not be in trouble if they see us grappling back up or down.
I don't see why that would be a problem. It's only a problem if you try to physically climb the trees.
Sure. Yep, that makes sense.
And if you try to utilize... So the only two problems are if you try to physically hand climb,
Yep.
you'll be stopped by the archers.
Yep.
And if you try to climb past where commoners are allowed. Within that range, I mean...
Free game, yeah.
So the price, she says, is roughly 20 gold pieces for the grappling hooks each. But again, that's also a one-time purchase.
Versus 25 out, 25 in, 25 out.
Sure.
Where can we find these?
Citrador, what do you... She said the store across the street.
Oh, across
No.
the
She said you can find it at like basically the convenience store, which the convenience store is going to be found in the second floor with all the sort of stores there. So you could probably pick one up at the Forge, which is Barrel's Burning Ash. Oh, Balar's, sorry. Balar's Burning Ash.
Balar?
Yep. Apostrophe S, Burning Ash. He's a dwarf. He makes a lot of really interesting items. And that was one of his inventions that he brought with him from the world that he's from.
I don't see why I feel like it's financially efficient to buy one of these. We could pick one up for Gore along the way if we really need to.
All right. So you guys have
I'll whisper that to her so Brutus doesn't hear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair.
Yeah.
Or them.
That works.
Yep.
Yeah, well,
So let's make our way.
So you guys head over to the Forge, which is Baller's Burning Ash on the second floor.
he's a dollar.
He is.
His ass is burning.
So
At Chipotle is just paying the price.
all right, so getting to Baller, you guys, he looks at you and he's like, "Hello, welcome in. What can I do you for?"
we come in search of a few of those grappling guns that we seem to find everywhere.
Oh, you've just seemed to find those everywhere. Those super hidden items that I don't really share with anyone outside the Elvish race.
Unlucky.
You know what? You're right, I have them. I'm not going to deny that. I mean, clearly. He kind of, like, points to behind him, and there's just a whole bunch of them hanging up. He's just like... like, you know, they're definitely here. He kind of looks at you and he's like, why do you need one?
We are trying to do work in and out the city on the west gate. We're looking for a missing person, and it's taking us slightly out of the city, and the fee seems exorbitant, especially when we're doing work for the people of the city.
How many do you need?
We need 3.
3?
Yep.
All right.
One for me, one for them, and one for another one of our friends.
All right. I'll tell you what. Usually about 20 apiece. I got a job. I need some assistance. How about I give you 3 of them for, say, 10 apiece in exchange for delivering something for me?
Sounds good to me.
Yeah, that works. Depending on where it needs delivered. I can't make agreeances and then be expected to deliver to a spot we are unallowed to go.
Unallowed.
What is the correct word there? Non-permissed?
Not permitted.
Yeah, not permitted. That's the word. Disallowed. That's a good word. See, my brain is spaghetti.
Big brain plays over here.
Yeah. 5 head moves.
Clearly
unallowed.
you play Magic the Gathering.
Yeah.
You blue player, you.
Disallow.
My brain is sloppy Joe. We'll move on.
All right, so the dwarf kind of looks at you and he's like, look, clearly I am also the mortal, so I'm not going to send you anywhere that will get you in trouble. But what I do need is I need you to drop this off to a friend of mine. He is on, so he kind of talks about how, given his position within the city, he can't really leave the city. But just outside the city, there's the local guard, and then there, at the bottom of the trees, there's a guard with a straw hat.
Oh, yeah.
That owes him some money for a product. And what he needs is you to collect the money from him and bring it back up.
That seems like a difficult sell.
I mean, either that or you can pay 25 gold pieces per each.
You said 20 last time.
Yeah, but see, I sell that to elves for 20.
Oof. Well, hear me out. How about you give us one of the grappling hooks first? Considering purely on the fact that if we have to take the elevator system to get down and back, just to talk to that straw-hatted fellow, we would be paying 50 gold, which would ruin the deal.
All right, fine. I'll give you a 1 grappling hook for 10 gold.
Sure.
You do the delivery.
And then the other 2 for 10 as well. And if we don't manage to get the money, we'll pay full price.
All right.
Okay.
It's not... So he doesn't make it seem like it's going to be a hard sell. It's just he needs the money, and that dude is always on shift. So he can't ever leave. So, like, most of the people who are working these positions are kind of anchored to their spots.
Yeah, so like they don't have the time to go give it to him.
Could we get like an invoice? So this guard, because there seems to be lots of distrust between the elves and those of us who are not. And I would prefer this person to not think that we're trying to steal money.
You're very smart. You're very smart. And so he sort of pulls out a piece of paper, and he pulls out sort of his wax seal, and he stamps it. It has this sort of iron chisel on it, and he kind of hands it to you. Just like, well played. All right.
Appreciate it.
So 10 gold, one
Yep.
grappling hook. Hands you a grappling hook. It looks pretty
gold.
beaten up, but it's functional. It's not good looking, but functional.
Is this like? Can I look at the others and see if this is out of the norm? Is it out of the norm, or is it just the normal
So
grappling hook given?
it's a normal grappling hook. The only real difference is that it looks worn, like it was a used grappling hook.
How about when I get back, you give me a new grappling hook?
Well,
This one is clearly worn.
you could pay the 20 gold for the brand new one. The only difference between this one and the other ones is the aesthetic. There's nothing.
It's not pretty.
Oh, that's fair. That's fair.
So that's why you're getting the discounted rate. It's they're aesthetically
It's not good
not
enough.
appealing. So he could sell it to you guys.
But he can't really sell to the elves.
He can't sell it to the elves because the elves won't buy it.
Yeah, that's fair.
So he's basically just
Pawning off the used ones on us.
and also getting a deal for himself out of it.
Yeah, 10 gold's fine though. As long
So
as it's just aesthetics and it works fine, then I'm fine with it.
yeah, I should warn you though. The max weight on these things is about 500 pounds.
Okay, yeah.
So only
Relevant.
one of us can go.
At a time.
Yeah. So,
Yeah, but
Citra.
I'm not gonna sit there and try to like yeet it back up or something.
Citra, what do you think is the, who do you think's the correct person to go? Try to get this money.
Huh?
Hear me out. So we're needing to kill time for Brutus anyways. You can continue your investigation. You can try to find what you can in the town, and then as soon as we can get the grappling hooks and look outside the town. Or I can try to recruit more people to fight the ogre, and you can go try to secure us grappling hooks to.
I think I will go attempt to collect on this money. I don't know if we should find more people though, because that's just going to require us to split it further.
That's fair.
And Brutus
Brutus doesn't want money though. Which
exactly,
Is
but who's to say other people won't?
good. Okay. Yeah, I will. I'll continue the search for the girl, while you go collect the money.
Okay.
That seems at least like a fair use of time.
Gonna give Jorzath all of the info
Mm-hmm.
that I've.
So the plan that you guys have established is that Citradora will take the grappling hook and ride down to the bottom,
Mm-hmm.
and then try to collect up on this money.
Yep.
While you go and collect more information about the girl. Is that
Yes.
Okay.
So I would like to head to the apothecary.
I'm gonna give Jorzath all of the info that I already collected.
Yep.
Her appearance, she's a wood elf, short hair. And they sent her out last night looking for Thistle, Lilac, and Bay Leaves. And I do remember seeing Thistle on our way in. Also, her father apparently is out looking for her as well. Left early this morning. Her mother does not think that he might have been the one to put the job posting up because it was not her.
Okay. Well, let's see. Okay. I think I'm just gonna look around, see if there's anyone that could have motive in the town.
Sure. Right. So, grappling hook gun, kind of shoot it off, right down to the bottom. It's like a slow descend. It's holding tight. Doesn't seem to have any sort of structural problems.
Mhm.
You make it down to the 100 feet mark where you see one of the elves, and he's kind of just sitting there with his bow, and he kind of looks at you, sees the grappling hook, kind of just nods. He's like, all right. Get down to the 50 feet mark. Second one sees you, nods. 30 feet mark. That's where you see the guy with the sort of straw hat, kind of just peek down. You know his two archers are behind him, kind of waiting to ambush anyone who comes up, is going to pay the fee or have the info.
Okay, so I'm gonna stop there, and is it like a platform?
He's just sitting on a tree.
Or he's just sitting in a tree?
Yeah, he's literally just kind of sitting in a tree. He, like, perches himself up against it.
Okay, so I'm gonna just, like, on the closest branch, but not let the grappling hook go, so I can still use it for, like, balance.
Yeah, do a strength roll for me, just to make sure. Actually, athletics, I'm sorry.
Athletics?
Yeah, athletics.
Nat 20.
Okay, so yeah, you're pretty solid on this branch. These are some thick boy branches, and you have a pretty good grip of this grappling hook gun. So the straw hatted elf kind of like gets up, and as he gets up, you notice some strings hanging from the top of him. As you look up and you see an actual elf puppeteering this guy. And he's kind of just like sitting up on like a little platform above him with like a little cup of tea.
I mean, hey.
And there's
it works.
more strings hanging on these other two elf puppets.
Archers?
The other two elf archer puppets. It's just like, oh, welcome. And he has these sort of large spectacles, and he has the same sort of straw hat, but it's like pushed back instead of pushed forward. He's just kind of looking at you, like very nerdy looking dude, just sort of like
fucking dweeb.
just a dweeb with his puppets, and he's just kind of like, can I help you?
Yes, I have been sent by Balar to collect the money that you owe him. He said that you just might not have had time to stop by, and I hand him the invoice.
He takes the invoice, looks at it, and goes, "Oh, yes. It's for my new puppet parts." And he kind of like, you see like the puppet that was kind of has like the overhang of the grass straw hat. He kind of pulls out like almost like a Gatling gun sort of arrow.
Fucking hell.
Yeah. So your understanding of that dwarf is that he is basically an artificer.
Yes.
So he creates a lot of really dope stuff for these guys. And so one of the things that he created is basically a Gatling gun. He's like, it's to mow down anyone who comes through, doesn't want to pay. Kind of keep it perched up behind him.
Oh.
Behind my
Seems
straw boys.
I'm glad we paid.
Yeah.
So yeah, he pays you like an invoice. He pulls aside, like writes like basically a little check, seals it with his seal, which is basically just a little straw hat. Hands it to you.
Okay.
He's like, oh, thanks. And when you come through, just say hi. My name's Jarlin. Jarlin the Puppet Master. And yeah, that kind of
Absolutely. All right.
So then he
I'm just gonna head back up.
yeah, so you kind of hit the button and it slowly starts retracting you back up.
I just.
Yep. And again, Jarlin's just sitting there with his cup of tea. Just seems like he has like a nice little bedroll. He has like his whole little setup right here. Like he's basically living on this part with his little puppets. And you notice behind his little platform, there's more puppets. Like he has like a small group, like a militia of puppets.
I mean, guess that's one way to do it.
Were the people we met when we first got there, didn't we have a conversation with them?
Yeah, he can change his voice, probably.
He can throw his voice.
Yep. The Puppet Master, man.
They creepy.
Welcome to Everon. Not everything's as it seems.
True.
So anyways, you managed to get back up to the top.
Yep.
All right.
Gonna head back towards the forge.
The forge? Yep. All right, so you head back to the forge. Drozath.
Yeah.
So you were heading towards the apothecary still?
Yeah. I wanted to sort of have a conversation with the mother.
Okay.
See, if, the daughter had any, like, friends we could talk to, or any people that would have motive out against her.
So, getting back to the apothecary, you are face to face with Gladys Gontar, and she kind of looks at you. And so, when I described her earlier, she had some tears under her eyes, like some like makeup smeared, essentially. Now it looks like it's like 4 times worse. Like she's just been crying all day.
Aww.
Her voice is basically lost at this point, and she's just like, hello.
Oh, you poor thing. Oh, like
My
try to comfort her as best I can.
Yeah, you managed to like kind of put your dragony hand on her, and she kind of just like, you know what? Just do a charisma roll for me.
I'm great at all that, like all of it.
Yeah, that's why I said just do a charisma based roll for me, like for comfort.
19.
Yeah, so you put your little dragon mitt on her, and she's just not affected. She seems like she takes the comfort. She's just like, oh, thank you. Can I help you? I'm sorry. I'm a mess. My daughter's been missing. It's been a long day. My husband, he finally came home. And you notice her husband. His name's Gale.
Gale, yeah.
And he kind of just like walks up, and he's just like, you can see like he's clearly been crying too. He's like, fuck, man, this has just been a fucking day. I'm tired of this shit already.
Can I talk to Gale?
Yeah. So Gale's kind of like sitting off on a corner. He's like holding a giant mug of wine, just kind of chugging it. Seems like he's just having a rough day.
Hey, Gale. Can you recount to me what exactly your daughter was sent out to get, and more importantly, where she usually goes in order to find those?
Yeah, so we sent her out to get some basic supplies. It wasn't anything interesting. It was just some basic herbal remedies that we needed collected right outside the eastern gate. Like there's thistle bushes right there. The problem that I found when I went down there is that I saw drag marks, and something grabbed her in the forest. And he kind of holds up a object, which is the sort of red pendant that she had attached to her chest. The rose-colored lapel that she would have had in her shirt. He's kind of holding it.
Yeah.
And he's just like, I found this on the ground. She wouldn't have just left this. This is how we know who she is, if she were ever taken from anyone in the capital, to know her placement within the city.
I'm terribly sorry for your loss. Do you know
There were
of any...
So he kind of goes on to say that there was track marks, humanoid-sized track marks.
Okay, yeah.
But he doesn't identify exactly what creature it is. Just that it was
it's more humanoid.
More humanoid in nature, yeah.
Could be a lycan, which would blow, because she's probably dead. I mean, that's lycan. We will do our best to find whatever has taken her and get her back to you safely.
Right.
But
well, thank you for that, and just we just want her back. That's all.
Yes.
We'll pay whatever we can. I know we said 300 gold pieces, but we're willing to pay more if she comes back safely and unharmed.
Okay.
We just want our daughter back at this point.
All right. Well, do you know of any? You said the tracks were humanoid. Do you know of? So me being a foreigner, do you know what lives in the forests that tend to be humanoid?
Well, it could be anything. There's wolves, but the lichen folk that live here that were brought here when they were warped. Seems to be a small group of them, but I don't think it was them. I didn't see any animal tracks of that nature. It was more like something else, something nature-ish. A dryad wouldn't have done it, but maybe some brights, something, you know, some twig or some shrubs, maybe. I don't know. I think that it was probably something of the forest nature that kind of came through. Just looking at the tracks.
Okay.
I mean, I've spent a few hours studying those tracks.
We
so.
do have. Cichadora is a druid, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So we do have a druid that can look into this, and they may be able to provide some context. They might be able to speak or commune with the forest, see if they can glean any information. But I appreciate this. Thank you. And we will do our best to get you your daughter back safely. And then I'll head out.
So as you head out, so Gore, after a long day of fighting in the pits, you're pretty tired.
Mm-hmm.
You felt like you could have gone further, but you just didn't want to risk it for the biscuit.
Yeah.
So you came out of the pits, kind of gashed up a little bit, but not nearly as beaten as you could have been. And you are a little bit richer than when you came in. You go to Shady Rick. Shady Rick hands you your 300 gold pieces, and he's like, that was a good show. Good show. I was impressed. If you come back to the pits, we might not be able to offer you the same amount, given your skill set.
Wait, you offering me more?
Oh, you have a reputation now, so we can't go in blindly.
Mm.
But if you make it into the final rounds, I'm sure we can spice it up a bit.
Oh, appreciate that.
You notice other people who've been like fighting in the pits for a while, they come out similar, and they're getting paid like 10 gold pieces because they're just known fighters who make it through.
Mm.
Like adventurers who've been in the city a while, you get known by your name. So while people screamed your name, you are not the only name being screamed.
Yeah.
You did notice that in the pits there was this sort of big orcish man who kind of like seemed to bro up with you.
Mm-hmm.
His name is Thompson.
Orc Thompson.
Yep. He doesn't have a last name. He was just, you know, orcs don't always have last names.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of just the name of his birth. So yeah, Thompson kind of like, who's like, I like you a lot. You're a pretty dope dude.
Yeah, man, you're pretty sweet yourself. You got some sick moves in there.
Thanks, man. You know, trying to get some extra money to get out of here.
No, I feel you, man. I just made a bunch of money too.
Yeah, it's dope. It's dope.
Where you staying at?
I'm staying. And he kind of points at like a little like street corner. Been staying there. It's cheap. Most people don't really like my kind. Kind of have this sort of prejudiceness against orcs and goblins here.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I respect anybody that can fight.
Thanks,
so
bro.
does
Thanks.
Oh, yeah, man. Absolutely. Say the place I'm staying at, they seem to like tough people. You want to come hang out with me and my other adventurers? You know, grab some drinks, whatnot. Maybe we can figure something else out to do, because they already told me they're going to pay me big anymore to go in these pits, because...
Yeah, it's kind of... It's my first day. Came in, super strong, got it to the 4th round. Got my shit kicked in.
Mm-hmm.
Came out with about 200 gold pieces. Blew it all in a single night on a bunch of elvish strippers. And came back next day to try to fight some more.
Mm-hmm.
And got paid about 5 gold pieces.
Yeah, then that... Yeah, so...
It's basically a one-time deal. They kind of made it to where you come in, you make the money, and then you just continue to fight for their enjoyment.
Yeah, which isn't fair, but...
I mean,
hey, man.
they're elves.
If we, because I got some extra coins. If you want to get out of here, man, I can happily, hook you up. If you help me out, we're looking for some big jobs around here to get some money so we can move around. Or if you hear anything, like, you want to come meet the other people, man, just come on down to the
Mossy Marsh.
Mossy Marsh.
Yeah, man, that sounds cool. And he kind of goes over to like his little like alleyway, and he grabs his giant sort of stick. Mm-hmm. Basically, he just has a giant club, puts it on his back, wraps the little there's basically like a little makeshift blanket on the ground, which was just like some wolf skin, and just throws it over like a little cape, wraps it around his neck, and he's just like, "Well, shit, I'm good to go now. That's all I got."
Sounds good to me.
You also notice the empty tankards of beer just lined up in this. This man clearly drinks his body weight in alcohol. He can throw down with the best of them.
Sounds good.
So yeah, Thompson.
So yeah, we're gonna make our way back to the Mossy Marsh.
What time would you say it is about now?
So he finished up around 3:00. If you were just heading straight back, it's probably gonna be about 3:30 to push through the crowd after your conversation. So about 3:30, almost 4.
Okay.
So yeah, you were back at the inn, right? Oh, you're going to the forge. So while that's happening, you're currently at the forge.
Yep.
And then Drozeth, were you just heading back to the inn? Was that the plan?
I was gonna head back to the forge.
Head back to the forge? Okay, so...
we still have like an hour or two to kill because, by the sounds of it, Brutus gets off at 5.
Yeah, he gets off at 5, and then that's when sun goes down, like the sun's down, so it'll be pitch black.
That's fine, we can deal with that.
Alright. So...
Also, it might be helpful to confuse an ogre.
Yep. Alrighty. So, you manage to make it back to the forge, and as you get there, you notice that you're not the only one in there. You notice there is a giant sort of lion folk dude sitting there at the forge. He's covered in sort of like a few sort of bumps and bruises. And there's a lot of people sort of cheering him on. Clearly he was the champion of the sort of rumble. He seems to be the reigning champion. His name is Naya the White Lance.
Naya the White Lance.
Naya there for this?
Yeah, so you two would be there.
Okay.
So he's...
How do you spell that?
So it's Naya of the White Lance. Yep, just Naya of the White Lance. He is a lion folk. Sort of huge, sort of lion mane. Has a couple scars all over his chest. He clearly has like a sort of a knightly appearance. He seems to be very sort of lawful. He's talking to the Forge Master, just kind of like shooting the shit, talking about new weapons that he's looking at trying to buy. Mm-hmm. As you guys kind of come in, Baller kind of sees you and he's like, "Oh, yeah, you're back already."
Yes.
Oh, and he kind of holds his hand out to...
I hand him the little envelope.
He breaks the seal, opens it up, counts it. He's like, "It's all here. All right, well, we agreed upon the set price. If you just pay the price, I'll..."
Hand over 20 gold.
And then he hands you over 2 grappling hooks. And so, as he hands you over the 2 grappling hooks, you notice that Naya kind of looks at him. He's like, "You just gonna hand over 2 grappling hooks like that? I thought you were of higher status. You're just gonna hand it over to this..." And Naya has to look up to you. Naya's probably about 6 feet tall, real stocky dude. He's kind of just like, "To this fucking freak."
You're a talking lion. Who's calling who a freak?
I mean, in my world, this is commonplace.
Well, we're not in your world anymore.
Clearly. And so he points over at his lance, and he's just like, "Were you able to make the modifications I asked for?" And Baller's just like, yes, everything is in shape." He kind of grabs a lance, twists it a little bit, and it goes from a lance to like a sharp edged blade. And then he twists it back, and it goes back to curling out to basically be a lance. So has this curling feature where it creates that sort of edge that he was looking for.
Mm-hmm.
He's just like super smooth, as always. Puts it on his back, and you notice the coloring is this sort of magically inclined white sort of steel, why they call him the White Lance.
Yeah.
And he also has this sort of.
It to be green.
No, that's his shield. So then he sort of
Red.
he hands him so the shield is actually going to be red. So he grabs the shield too, and so he checks that. He kind of twists his wrist, and it sort of spikes pop out. Kind of clicks it back in place and puts it back on, and then he grabs his third weapon, which seems to be some sort of makeshift. Similar to like your guys' grappling hook, but it's weaponized. So it's like a
gun.
basically he has a harpoon gun, and it's like a green coned harpoon gun, and he kind of like puts that on his side, and he's just like, all right guys, huh? Thanks again, and he kind of walks off. All right.
So I will go talk to Citradora.
Before you guys leave, Baller's like, well, if you need anything, now that you've kind of worked for me, if you need anything, you can come into the shop. I might be able to make some adjustments to your things.
Sounds good.
Pretty good tinkerer.
By the looks of it, seemed to be a great one.
Yeah. And then he kind of smiles and smirks. He's like, I like you. You can come by the shop whenever. I might have extra work for you. All right, so you guys were gonna converse. I take it.
Flattery gets you everywhere.
Let's go, charisma boys. Let's go. So I want to talk to Citradora about the location she was taken was on the Eastern Gate, and what the father seems to have told me was that it was taken by something more natural than like a creature, more inclined to the forest itself than any creature.
Okay.
So, with you being a druid, you might have a little more insight than I would on that. Maybe able to, you can speak to plants, right?
Not really.
Even then, I think you're more in tune with nature than I am. Might be able to figure something out from that.
Yep. So you guys are having your conversation. You guys just having it out in the open?
I mean,
Kind of like.
we're not like hiding it, but we're not screaming it either.
Yeah. You guys are just having this conversation in a shop.
Yeah.
So after your guys' conversation, what do you guys want to do?
So.
What time is it?
Yeah, what time is it? Because we really gotta.
So looking at the time, it's probably closer to, a little bit closer to the end of the day.
Okay, I want to head back to the inn.
Okay.
Yeah.
So heading back to the end, you guys see that Brutus is no longer at the gate. Because it'll take you guys a couple minutes to get down. So it's probably a little after 5 o'clock.
Okay.
As you guys get there, you see Gore sitting at a table with this sort of huge orc. And they seem to be like clasping tankards of ale and chugging it to like compete to see who could drink the fastest. Like they're basically doing Irish car bombs together.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
They're having like a full-on bromance going.
Yeah.
We broing out.
Yeah, bro, we bros.
GTL, Gym Tan Laundry.
Do you even lift, bro?
I'm just about that swole life.
I want to go see if I can find Brutus.
Yep, so Brutus is kind of... Do a perception check for me. Let me see if you can see him.
12.
So you look about, and you actually see that Brutus is hanging about the door, Violin. She's kind of like hanging... she's like in her office, like working on paper with the door open, and he's kind of like right outside of it. And he's just like...
Post it up.
He's kind of like posted up, and he kind of just like over his shoulder is just like... yeah, I'm gonna go help these little adventurer people that you seem to like so much. You know, figured I'd do my part and help out the foreigners every once in a while. Do the right thing. She kind of just like, uh-huh. Uh-huh. Sure. And she's like clearly like writing like an invoice or something for like a payment. And then she just like stops and she kind of looks at you and she's like, Did you pay for today?
Not yet. Here's your gold.
It's 2 gold pieces.
Yeah. Flip her 2 gold pieces. No problem. Sorry.
Writes another invoice and she kind of looks out and she says, "Hey fucker, you pay today?"
Sure. Here.
Takes your money. Same to you.
Didn't know you'd be all mad at me.
She's clearly like doing her like weekly sort of tax bracket that she needs to do for the city. And so she's like writing it out and then you see like a little messenger come up. Like basically like a little hawk sort of flies in. She like rolls up the paper, hands it to him, kind of takes it off. He has like an official seal on his like his little chest. Kind of flies off into the distance. And then she like, whew. So what were you saying, Brutus? Something I don't even know. And he's just like,
Aww.
I'm gonna be heading out for the night.
Ooh.
She's like, you do that. And she kind of like looks over at Thompson. She's like, what you doing over there?
I wanna go over to Gore, talk to him. So how drunk is he at this point?
Do a Constitution save for me. Let's see where you're at.
Man, you're just deciding I drink. You don't even give me the option to drink this much.
Because
I know, I'm out celebrating.
You're out celebrating with your bro.
No.
You also brought home with alcoholic orc.
I didn't know he was alcoholic until he cleaned up his tent.
You didn't have a tent. You just had a little alleyway.
11?
Yeah, so he seems pretty sober, but you looking at the amount of tankards on the table, you know he's had more than a few.
Yeah, but heavy guy. He's good. I just want to talk to him.
2 gold pieces total.
Yeah, I did.
No, for the
drinks?
For the drinks.
Oh, okay, 2 more. Okay.
Yeah, so just like that's unless you're gonna pay for Thompson's too, because Thompson doesn't have any money.
Oh.
Yeah, I got my bro.
So that's 4. That's gonna be 4.
So.
Thompson,
he going down the drain.
You just got 300 and you're
You don't
like
know this.
4.
Thompson looks like he's having a rough go though. He's like trying to keep up with you, but low key he's looking like he's a little rough. He's just like yeah. You see a little bit of upchuck in his cup, but he's still drinking.
Upchuck in the cup, baby.
On
You see an old dude doing a shot out of a shoe. He's just like, amateurs.
doing a shoey. Let's go.
What was that from Lord of the Rings? I think I feel it in my finger. He's drunk.
All right, so you guys are all together.
I would like to talk to Gore. Specifically.
As you go to talk to Gore, Brutus walks up and he says, "Deal's off," and he walks away.
What? I was literally gonna do it to. Alright. Can I go after him?
You can.
Alright. Yeah, I want to talk to him and say, hey man, dude, come on. I was just gonna tell him to stop being an asshole.
No, it's not about you. It's and he kind of looks over and notices that she's not really noticing him, and he doesn't really care about helping you anymore.
You know? Fair enough. You'll get her one day.
And you kind of just see like his one eye sort of like the single tear roll.
Yeah.
Kind of like walks away to kind of like cuffs his face to kind of like cover it up, pretend like it didn't happen.
Aww.
Allergies.
Alright, well, is there a timing restriction on when to get rid of this orc? Or this, not orc, the ogre?
Just as soon as possible was like the goal, but there's not like a specific time restraint. You do know, just based off of the knowledge. Oh well, specifically, I'll let you guys interact. Go ahead.
I want to talk to Citradora. Say, yo, Brutus is out. We probably need a third. to help us take this thing down. But that does put us pretty tight money-wise. Let's see what Gore's up to. He seems to have had a good day.
Yep.
I'll walk back over to Gore. Say, hey, Gore, how you doing?
I'm great.
What was,
Thompson's sleeping on the table next to you.
That's cool.
who's your friend?
This is Thompson. He's badass. I met him in the pits. We were just kicking some major booty hole up there, and
How'd you do?
So I went through 3 rounds, and they were starting to get a little tough on me, but they told me how much I was going to make per round because they thought I was a chump.
How much?
I got 300.
Oh.
So
Okay.
definitely, made a little Chet cheese today.
Now, you might have just had a windfall of cash, but me and Citradora are a little worse for wear financially.
Yeah, I can hook you guys up. That's no worries.
So, how about instead of giving us money, you assist us in... I mean, you love fighting, right?
Oh, I love fighting.
All right, well, I've got an opportunity for you.
Oh, yeah?
There is an ogre that we're going to want to kill. I think I'll die if me and Citra go alone.
That's cool.
So, if you'd like to come, we'll still give you a small cut, but it would probably be more along the lines of 200 for me, 200 for Citra, 100 for you.
Thompson's like, I'll come for the beer if I get...
Yo.
Yeah, we'll take Thompson for free, I guess. I mean, as long as you cover his tab.
I mean, I already covered his tab for the night.
he's talking about for after. He's like, I'll come if you just buy me drinks.
It'll be like 5 gold.
Yeah, that's no worries.
Thompson falls back asleep on the table.
All my boy really wants is to get out of this place. So, we get him out of here, like, he'll pretty much do this for free.
Mm. Oh, also, here, Citra, can I get one of the grappling hooks? Actually,
Yep.
2 of them.
No, I only bought one. Oh, yes,
you
I
bought
have
2.
the other ones. Yeah, I hand them over.
Alright, so I'll take mine.
Okay.
And then I'll give Gore his grappling hook.
Okay, then I'll give you guys... You paid the extra for me, right?
Yes.
So I'll give you 10 to pay
Yep,
mine.
it's 10 gold.
Yep. And then,
Cool.
these can be used to get us in and out of the city without paying that pesky fee.
Okay.
Just make sure you don't climb on the trees, and make sure you don't go too high.
Okay. That's
And,
cool.
those are pretty much the only rules of using these. Just make sure you do not climb the trees.
Okay.
Very important.
That's no worries.
How's Thompson gonna get out?
Thompson,
I mean, we could just give him 25 gold from all this money we're going to make.
yeah, Thompson only wants out. He doesn't want back in, so we can just pay the fee for that.
Yeah, Thompson just wants out because he can't afford to get out
Yeah.
because he drinks too much.
Because
He drinks too much. He literally fights enough fights
Enough to afford his beer, and then
for the day, and then just falls asleep at his alleyway.
Yeah. I mean, as long as we give him money to get out of here.
yeah.
But I suggest we should walk him to the gate and give them the 25 gold so he can't just be like, ooh, 25 gold, then I'm going to go drink my face off again.
Elven stripper.
Yep.
Yeah. So, plan is, it's dark now. We could try to fight the ogre tonight, or we could wait until tomorrow. It's up to you. You do see a little beat up.
Yeah, I mean, I took some scraps and scrapes up there, I did fight for about 5 straight hours, so...
Yeah, but you're Gore, the mighty, the crazy.
I do believe that our new friend Thompson may be a little indisposed at the moment. He's not going to be much help.
That was my other thing, so...
Well, maybe we call it a night.
Yeah. So...
Fight the ogre tomorrow, and then we can... I think we should, as urgently as possible, at least... go try to find the girl. Or at least find that lead.
Yeah.
What girl?
So at the job board posting, we got 2 jobs. One to kill the ogre.
Okay.
And then there's a missing girl that me and Citradora have been both working on. So
Okay, any leads on this missing girl? Or?
we know she disappeared by the east gate.
Okay.
She was going for some basic apothecary supplies, and it seems to not be creature-based, whether she was taken. It was as if she was taken by the forest itself.
Okay.
As far as what the the father has told me and information I've had prior. I don't know if he's delirious based on,
Okay.
emotional terror.
So she's out at the east gate. Where's
Yeah.
this ogre at?
Ogre Westgate.
Westgate.
I was gonna say, how lucky would it have been if it was just the ogre that took her. We get 2 birds, 1 stone.
I think we'd know. I think we'd know if the ogre took her.
But
I that would be convenient.
So to give you guys a reference of how big Everon is, it's like half a day's journey from gate to gate.
yeah.
You guys are still only on like
Eastgate, right?
the east gate, and you're on like half. You guys have only seen half the city so far.
Yeah.
To get to the west side, you would have to cross one of the bridges that's on the 5th floor, and you guys don't actually have access to it. So you guys have to travel from the ground
Yeah.
to get around.
Yeah.
So I say,
So we should
I
rest
think-
up tonight.
I think it's. So outside of the game, I know we're running late on time, but I do think it's probably urgent somewhat that we find the girl.
Yeah, so the thing is that time is irrelevant in this world, remember?
Mm-hmm.
So things may be different in the morning. So just be aware of that whenever you're thinking about terrain features and things like that. So
So then it's even more important that
yeah,
we try to find her if she seems to be like grabbed by the terrain itself.
because
So-
tracks and stuff that you find might shift.
So I do think it is
So
of utmost importance we go now
To
at
go
least
look
try
for
to
her?
find her. Yeah. See if we can get any leads.
okay. I mean, that doesn't matter to me.
So Chidora, how do you feel about that?
Sounds good to me. Her parents seem to be
Worse for wear.
pretty shaken up.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's just find a room to dump Thompson in.
No, as you guys talk about going on an adventure and leaving, Thompson like wakes up and he's like, "Fuck yeah, let's go."
Thompson, we need you to help
Rested
us
for
tomorrow. And you seem to have fought enough today. And we appreciate your fervor. But I'll toss him 2 gold pieces and say, just stay here for the night. And I'll talk to the barkeep and say, do not let him spend those 2 gold on alcohol.
Thompson does like a little sad tear and he's just like, "Alright, fucking fine. Be a fucking adult." And he hands the money over and he goes and he gets himself a room and he like, you immediately hear, because it's like the closest room probably to the open area where the bar stools are and stuff. You guys just hear a loud snoring sound immediately erupt from Thompson. Thompson is racked.
I'll close the door to his room.
Yeah, he didn't shut his door or anything. He just literally fell, and he fell asleep on the floor. Like there was no,
Gore, can you put him into his bed?
no. He's fine. He's used to
fine.
sleeping on this like the hardwood floor
Yeah.
in alleyways where they keep the trash. This man's fine.
Yeah.
He's happy.
He's got an actual room and a roof over his head.
Just close the door, we'll be okay.
All right. So as you guys are preparing to head off into the night, you guys suddenly hear thunder erupting in the sky as a downpour starts to emerge, and it seems like the rain is coming. And that is where we're going to end it.